Yo, yo. Yo guys, what is going on? Finally got some BT10 cross encounter gameplay. Super hyped for this. I'm playing down at the bottom Cross Heart, probably the best deck out of the new set. Probably the most feared deck out of the set just because it is so fast paced. So you see there, I'm going to start with a Sparamon, Darulumon. Keep in mind those cards can ignore color restrictions as long as you evolve over a Cross Heart. My opponent is playing the Blue Flare deck, so we're going to see a level 3 plus the Kiriha there as the Memory Tamer, who can also stick stuff underneath him and then suspend himself to use those for Digicross. So I'm going to play the Akari there for a cost of 3. So you get to play Darulumon from your hand as well if you have one, or underneath one of your tamers. Didn't have one at the moment. And then also if you play a Crossheart Digimon, you get to trigger draw one off her effect. So really nice stuff there. Blue Flare is going to swing Security and then use their best card is going to be Blazing Memory Boost. That card reveals the top 6 cards. You get to add 2 Blue Flares and play a Chris/Kiriha from amongst those for free, and then you get to just use the delay effect to gain 2 memory as well. So really strong starter here. I'm going to swing into the Strabimon and then trigger drawing off the Pikmon there. Really nice consistency card that kind of just helps you cycle through your deck. We're going to then use the Shoutmon for a play cost of 4. Revealing top 3, you get to add a Tamer and a Digimon, both with Crossheart, from those revealed cards to my hand. And then also when I play a Crossheart Digimon, I can just suspend the Akari to draw another card. So you see already I've got 9 cards in hand, which is pretty crazy. The amount of advantage these decks can accuse is really crazy. Our opponent is going to counter with the Greymon for a play cost of 4. Although a little bit of a high play cost, he's got a really nice +2 effect as well. You get to just take any 2 Blue Flare cards. Keep in mind that also includes the Tamer and Option card, since they've got Blue Flare in the trace, which is really crazy. Darulumon is going to swing, and then Shoutmon is going to swing Security as well. I don't mind, letting them die because of the save mechanic, because I can just put them underneath one of my Tamers and use those Digimon later on. And then lastly, I'm just going to play a tie to guarantee myself the 3 memory. The Greymon there is going to swing and going to hit a Sunrise Buster. A little bit unfortunate because both of his Digimon have really strong on deletion effects, but I am just going to play a tie from my hand and kill the Gaussmon there. The Gaussmon lets you play a level 4 Blue Flare. I believe it does have to be suspended, by the way, so just keep that in mind. So you get to play the male Birdramon off of the effect there, and then male Birdramon has got an on play as well as the on deletion save effect. I believe you get to take a Metal Greymon back from your trash to your hand, and then you also get to use it for the Digicross. So that's why the suspending there doesn't really matter too much, because you can just use it for the Digicross materials. So Digicross is going to happen by using both male Birdramon as well as the Greymon, reduced by 4 cost. So the Metal Greymon will only cost 3, effectively just paying it for 3. And then it also does gain Rush for the turn. Gonna hit a Dexmon, but that's okay because it's got the material save keyword, which basically just lets you save your material, save your Digivolution card. So those are going to go back underneath the Kiriha there to be able to be used later on. So Metal Greymon, really powerful card. And then lastly, we're just going to see a blue memory boost played for a cost of 3, just searching some more, revealing 2 metal as well as a Decker Greymon there. So Metal Greymon is going to be added to the hand, so I definitely have to keep in mind that, because he's already got the Digicross materials in play. So we're just going to go ahead and promote my Starmons. I do have a really solid hand, so I think here I should probably just swing Starmons, get an extra draw off of the Pikmon, and then you see I've got both the Cross 4 and the Cross 5 in my hand. So that's exactly what we're going to do. And then save is going to put it underneath the tie. Doesn't really matter which tamer. The problem is that you need the Taiki to be able to use your Digimon from underneath your tamers, because otherwise you kind of just can't use them. There's no other effect that really lets you use those. You just have to hard cross from hand. So my hand is a little bit, it's really solid, but I've got a lot of really high levels. So I just need to dig for that Taiki, and there it is going to be revealed off of the Shoutmon there. And then of course I've got the Ballistamon as well, who is a blocker since I've got something with Crossheart on my field. So then Metal Greymon is going to be played for a cost of 7 minus 4, 3 cost by using the Greymon from the hand, Male Birdramon from the materials, and then evolve into Decker Gray after popping the memory boost, of course. And then Decker Gray will let you freeze some more Digimon, but of course doesn't really matter too much. And then we are going to be checking 2 cards unsuspending due to the Greymon there, since I've got 2 or more Digimon. But the Sunrise Buster will save me in security, allowing me to reduce it by 3, 6, 9, 12, 15,000 DP. Of course, the Decker Greymon will Armor Purge, and then after that, since the Metal Greymon is at 0, it will then trigger the material save. So we are just going to save the Red Greymon plus the Male Birdramon there and putting them underneath our tamer. So then we're just going to play a Gaussmon to pass the turn. I'm going to go ahead and start my turn. Of course, my Digimon are frozen, so I definitely just need to get 2 or more swings in effectively, because if I play like a cross 4, cross 5, I can check 2 off of, or check 3 technically, I guess, off of the Tizer. So since my Digimon can't attack, I'm just going to use them with my Taiki as well to use a Starmon Darulmon underneath my materials to play Shoutmon cross 4 for a 9-8 cost. For a 1 cost, and then gaining 1 memory back off of the Zenjiro, and then drawing a card off the Akari. So then I'm going to trigger draw 2 on play, and then of course he's got Rush, draw a card off Starmon's, security Digimon get like minus 2k, he checks like 3 cards, and then at the end of attack I can place all of his Digivolution cards underneath one of my tamers, and then unsuspend a tamer. So I'm going to place them all underneath the Taiki, unsuspend the Taiki, and now since it's unsuspended, I can just use it again, suspend it to use the materials underneath them to play the Shoutmon cross 4 for another 1 cost, and then go for game after that. So guys, very, very fast paced game 1 there. Game 2, Blue Flare is going to start to try to get the advantage early on and to try to, you know, prevent me from being able to OTK, or I guess set up their board first. So we're going to see the Gaussmon Madoki, a little bit of an awkward hand. I am going to start with a Taiki, so that is all really nice. Then grab the Sparrowmon, put the Ballista underneath. Since I've already got a Darulmon in the hand there, as well as a cross 5, so I'm going to go ahead just evolve the Sparrowmon there, and I'm just going to play the Angie slash Akari. I forget which names they're using for the English. I think they're actually using the original names. Anyways, so we're just going to play the Darulmon for the 0 cost. They're effectively 3 cost, and then kill the Madoki Betamon. So our opponent's at 3, but we've got 5 cards in hand, lots of stuff in play, so we're doing pretty solid for like our first turn there. That's crazy that all of this was just off of 1 turn. So our opponent does have the Gaussmon. He's going to hard play a Kumamon, which tells me he probably wants to get value off the Gauss. We're just going to move up Sparrowmon, swing, draw a card, and then save afterwards. And then Darulmon is also going to swing because I'm not really getting value off him being on the field, so just going to put him underneath a Taiki. So then I do have the cross 5 in hand. I could definitely play him because I've got 3 of the materials, so I could play him for something like a 4 cost. But instead I'm just going to choke the memory to 1 and then revealing 4, only revealing 1 cross heart Digimon, so I can either choose to take that to my hand or put it under materials. So I'm just going to add these Starmons to my hand and bottom deck the rest of the cards. So I'm looking like I'm in a pretty solid position. You typically want to wait to go to cross 5. You usually want to start with 4 so you can like draw some cards and attack multiple times. Cross 5 is like the really solid one though, because you can play him for technically 0 if you've got all the materials, as well as being like a sec attack plus 1 blocker. So then we're going to swing Kumamon into security, gonna hit a tie, and then Blazing Memory Boost will reveal the top 6, so really solid reveal there. We are going to see the +2 added from the effect, getting Male Birdramon as well as Greymon, and then playing the Kiriha for a 0 cost is just so crazy off a 5 memory option card. I swear to God that memory boost is so ridiculous. And then we're going to go ahead, start my turn, digivolving the Sparrowmon there. We've got a lot of options here. We got the Sunrise Buster to potentially be playing another tamer as well. We're just going to play hard play the Angie and then use her effect to play the Darulmon from underneath the materials. Minus 3,000 on the Gaussmon there. Or potentially the Kumamon, but of course Gaussmon will be able to use an on deletion effect. I'm just going to kill it anyways. He's going to get the Greymon, which we know he searched off of the Blazing Memory Boost, so revealing some cards, taking 2 blue Flare cards from those cards to his hand. And I'm going to draw 2, of course, finally drawing into a cross 4. three fives in my hand, which is really, really unfortunate. I think I should probably cut down on the number of fives I'm playing. You really don't want to see it like that often. So anyways, we are still at 1 memory. I could definitely go for a cross 4 play here. I do believe I'm missing only the Shoutmon, so unfortunately I would still pass the turn there, and my Digimon would not have Rush. So instead I'm just going to play a Ballistamon to put up a blocker, potentially get 2 more swings next turn, or 3 swings I guess, because the Sparrowmon as well, and then go into like a lethal play with my Shoutmons in hand. Our opponent is going to bring out that Gaussmon. He's got a lot of advantage on the field, and with these both of these decks, you typically almost always want to just crash your Digimon into the security there, because of the fact that they get value off of taking out a security card, and then since they save, you get to use them later on anyways. So we're going to go ahead and swing into security. And then we are going to trade bodies with the Ballistamon being a blocker here. Greymon will go underneath the Tamer there, but of course if our opponent's got the Metal Greymon, we know he's got Mailbird, so we could potentially see that. Gaussmon will not die. Gonna see the Angie, the Akari played for a 0 cost. No Darulomon, unfortunately. That's a really cool interrupted play that you can do, is like when it's played you can just play Darulomon and like pop something, pop level 3 or something. So we are going to see the Metal Greymon Digicross suspending the Kiriha, using the Greymon underneath it, as well as the Mailbird in hand, playing it for 3 cost, freezing the Darulomon on play, as well as gaining the Rush keyword, and then Digivolving to the Metal Greymon X Antibody for a cost of 0, since we're evolving on a Metal Greymon, doesn't check the color, of course gaining 3000 DP as well as Psych Attack +1, and then of course not going to be able to get value off the inheritance. It doesn't really matter though, because my Digimon's already frozen and I don't have 2 or more in place, so you can't really like utilize the unsuspend effect and stuff. So I think that play was solid. So we're just going to go ahead, swing 2 checks, swing into a Zenjiro. Being able to play a Ballistamon is pretty big, being a blocker, and then hitting a Shoutmon as well. We've got the Kumamon. Can definitely swing, but of course you will just risk trading bodies. The thing is though, I really need to out his field, otherwise I either need to out his field or just like kill him straight up next turn, because otherwise I'm in a pretty big pickle here. But Metal Greymon, really solid, I think really spicy tech. But after testing it out a little bit, I think we kind of decided that like this card is just like not really cohesive with the whole blue flare deck. We are going to go into the Decker Greymon. We are going to go into the Decker Dramon for a cost of 5. He gets the on-play draw 1, and then for each of your opponent's Digimon, draw another card. So it's a really solid play, like kind of counterplay to this deck, where this deck likes spamming Digimon a lot. So you kind of just get advantage off your opponent's spamming, but that's totally fine. I've got 1 frozen Digimon. The Ballista and the Sparrow can both attack. My opponent's got no blockers. So I do have the cross 4. Ideally, I need to draw into like another cross 4 though, off of the effect. But I do technically get like 5 draws, because I've got 3 Akari plus the Shoutmon cross 4, which will draw me 2 extra cards, and then of course the Sparrowmon there will draw me another card. So I'm going to swing Sparrowmon just to get a draw here, and check out another security, and then we're going to play the cross 4 by Digicrossing the Darulomon, Ballista, Starmon from hand, and Shoutmon from hand, and then of course the Taiki there will be suspended. We're going to play it for a 1 cost, drawing 3 cards off of the Akari, gaining a memory off of Zenjiro, and then drawing 2 off of the Shoutmon cross 4, and then we're going to go ahead and swing security, draw another off of the Starmons, checking 2 cards because of our tie, and then of course our Taiki was suspended. We're going to then end of attack, place everything under, do the Shoutmon combo, and then swing Ballistamon. I did draw into the other cards I needed after being, drawing through half my deck, but really did not need them at that point. So yeah guys, that is going to be kind of a showcase of the blue flare and the crossfire decks. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Are you looking forward to playing these decks, or are you dreading the next meta? But anyways guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.